All right, I'm here with Franklin Dead Rose with Ethan and
Nick.
Nick.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it was wonderful meeting you guys. I've been to probably about 3 or 4 of your shows, and I really like your guys' music. So I wanted to kind of find out more. What you guys got going on, and stuff like that. So,
Thanks, man.
No
Thanks
problem.
for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And we're here with Indigo Forest, and this is like my segment called The Business. We're going to be chilling, talking about life, talking about what you guys have to offer with your band and stuff like that, so your audience and people can get to know you a little better as well.
Sweet.
How did you guys start, and like what inspired your band name?
Well, it really like the whole project really started like sophomore year of high school, because I was trying to like find other people to jam with,
Right.
and like start a band, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find anybody, and I wanted to make music.
Yeah. Where'd you guys go to school?
I went to McDonald. He went to Mineral Ridge.
Okay.
Yep. And like, so like my 17th birthday, I bought a drum kit and a mixer, made my own little EP mixtape thing, pass around school.
Nice.
Sounds like garbage. We gotta start somewhere.
For sure.
But then junior year came along, and this like a mutual friend who went from Ridge to McDonald came, like he was in my class, and he was like, "Hey, I know this guy Nick. He goes to Mineral Ridge, and yeah, then we started jamming.
Yeah.
And we jammed with a few musicians.
A few times with a bunch of musicians, and it was kind of hard to keep like a steady groove of who we wanted in the band up until now.
Yeah, we cycled through a few musicians until we found because everyone else was like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and they just like left, and then me and him were always like, look, there's something, like we got chemistry,
Yeah,
and I got these songs, like like I don't know when, but something can happen, and then I met Lance from Head Trips in 2019. I joined that band, but then COVID happened, and that kind of got in the way of everything. So it wasn't really until like 2022 that like me, you, and Lance started to play live shows, which was like 2-3 a year, you know?
Yeah, but you had all that prep time. You have all that time to like get to know each other as people and stuff as well. And like you said, that's important when it comes to that kind of chemistry.
Oh yeah, me and him went through it all.
We have. Unfortunately, we have. It was fun though. All the steps to get where we are now. I think it was worth it.
Right. And what inspired the name to come together?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So, well, around the time I was in social studies, and like I'm like a little bit of a history buff, and like we were learning about the New Deal and Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And like I was just like fascinated by like how he was in term for like more than 2 terms, and the Great Depression, all that stuff.
Right.
I don't know why. And then one day I was like laying in bed, like just stoned, and I was like, Franklin Delano Rose, Franklin Dead Rose.
Yeah.
And then I just stuck with it.
Right.
And they're looking up like on the internet, like is that taken? No, okay, we're good.
Right. And so you want something that's like linguistically creative, but also that like stands out, like because there's some people who come up with a band name, or they come up with a artist name, and like there's like 40,000 of them out there. So you really have to stand out. That's why I started using like numbers in my name, because like if I have Indigo as my thing, but I have a 0 there instead, like if you type it in, like I'm like one of the first things that comes up is if you use the 0 instead. Like, but if you just type in Indigo Forest, there's like a bunch of, hippie moms out there trying to give you like crystals and shit. Like, but like,
yeah. And like, that's the thing about it. It's not like I was necessarily thinking about that, but like, that's one of the things that like really made me stick with that.
With it. Yep.
Because sometimes you look up like a band, and like a million come up with the same name, and you have to like specify. You have to like super specify in Google. And like I'm like I don't know if that's gonna get me anywhere.
People underestimate basic coding. It's like it really is just like coding at the end of the day, because like you want somebody to be able to find you on the internet as an artist at this point in history. Like that's like pretty important. And I feel like when you play with words and you play with like even numbers nowadays, like people have found ways to manipulate that system. So if you do hashtag Franklin Dead Rose, or you do hashtag, even like with naming events like the EOS Fusion Fest. If you type in hashtag EOS Fusion Fest on any platform, like stuff from our event is going to come up, like because those combination of letters haven't been used in that same way before. So it's like it just works, and it makes it like a marketing strategy kind of as well as at the end of the day. So one thing that like going to your shows and like some of the audience even I've said like, what's going on with the hamburger hat? Like some people just want to know what's going on.
That hat
with
is so famous. He gets
I
questioned about that hat daily. Like every time we're out playing again.
So the people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
What's up with the hamburger hat?
That's all you. That is all you.
I mean, if you want, I'll give you the full story.
Yeah, let's get it.
So like, it all started in like eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
It was one of those days where you like gave $1 and like you like could wear a hat for whatever reason.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And at this time, I went to another school, which doesn't really matter, but I'll leave it out of the story. So this one girl in my class, she had this hamburger hat, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like, where did you get that? I want that right now." And she was like, "I got it from Kennywood," and I was like, "Okay, well, I can't get in there. I'm gonna have to pay a ticket and have my parents drive me." I'm like, "That's not." So I was like, "Can I? I'll pay you whatever. Like, do your homework." And she was like, "I'll tell you what. I forgot my gym clothes, and like you would get points taken off or whatever if you didn't like participate in gym." She's like, "If you skip gym with me, I'll give you the hat." I was like, "That's easy. I'll do that."
That sounds like a win-win-win. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Then I got the hat, and I played like a few shows with it on, and like, you know, and I played with it ever since, and like, yeah, it's more so become just like a way people recognize me, because I've had people like, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm in the Headstress Franklin Dead Rose, whatever." Like, you know, I play around here a lot or whatever, and they're like, "Who are you?" I'm sorry, I forget. And like, "I'm the guy with the hamburger hat." Oh,
yeah. It's a great way to remind
like,
them who we
people like. That's the way people remember, which wasn't really my intention, but now it's like, okay, I can work with that.
Right, for sure.
And I didn't know, like, people would be asking about that.
Yes, they ask me all the time. They're like, "Wait, where do you get that? Why is that a thing? Why?" They love it. Everyone loves it. They think it's funny. They ask like, "Why doesn't he switch it up? Put a hot dog on his head or something like that?" People will say that to me.
Oh yeah, people will be saying like, get a chicken wrap or get a chicken sandwich, like a bacon cheeseburger.
Right.
Like, I'm not opposed to it. It's just
like a
silly thing, and plus. It also like helps me keep like my hair out of my face. Yeah. It's like half the time I'm like singing, it'll like get in my face and like I'm swallowing half my hair while I'm trying to sing.
So it's functionality, it's some glam, and it's also just funny, you know. Generally. So
that's really good.
That's nice. And it helps you stand out, like you said, because like as a musician, as just like a dude with long hair nowadays too, like sometimes we all get stereotyped into one, like, you know what I mean? So it's like you gotta kind of stand out in certain ways and just make yourself. It's another marketing strategy at the end of the day too. I know like not a lot of people want to turn their art into a business, but at the end of the day, it is one. So having different things to help you stand out.
And I feel like, especially now, like you kind of have to like look at it that way as like a marketing thing, or like, like you know, kind of treat it, like brand it in that way. And like, it's kind of funny because like when. Like people be like, I didn't even recognize you without your burger hat on. So it's like, you know, like in sitcoms when like people put on glasses,
right,
to get visible or something,
right?
No, but I think it's definitely one of those things you can like.
It's like your uniform,
brand and market, and
it's like a symbol. It's our symbol.
Yeah,
it's our symbol of the band.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite? Like, because you said you were in multiple projects. So like either what's your favorite project that you've been working on, or what's your favorite song that like you've been putting out?
You mean in like just Franklin Dead Rose, or like everything?
Everything.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, I love this band. I'm also in another band as well, which we do straight covers and we play around the local area, RDNA. And but this band we do all originals, and my favorite would probably be Nothing Is Ever.
Nothing Is Ever.
Nothing Is Ever. Okay.
That's probably my favorite. It's just a good rock song, great, straightforward, fun, you know.
And what do you play again, Nick?
The drums.
Drums. That's what I thought.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. But yeah, everything with Franklin. I love this band.
For sure.
So much fun, so much energy, a lot of like just originality, a lot of things to do, and switch it up a lot, and it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. And like we said, we've been through it all since the beginning, and that's the other thing too with Nick. Like he's a fantastic drummer, and
right.
he's always down to do whatever if he's got the time. Because I know we're busy dudes sometimes, but he's always like, if I got the time, I'm down. And like I said, he's a beast on the kit, so I'm grateful for this dude.
Definitely.
But I think my favorite project is probably the stuff I'm working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
with Franklin or Davis or
we're about to, me and him are about to record in like my basement, like home studio.
Okay, so there's an album coming out, or EP?
Eventually.
Okay.
I don't want to say when or give a date, but I'm aiming for like spring 25.
Okay, nice. They're doing a couple singles along the way.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, we actually just we just recorded one of them, or you didn't release it though yet.
Well, yeah, we're gonna drop a single, like a standalone single. It's not gonna be on the album too. So
Are we allowed to know the name?
I honestly don't have a name for it.
Oh, okay. But coming soon.
Yes.
No, coming soon. No, it's gonna have a name soon.
Yeah, Franklin Dead Rose on all platforms. You guys can check them out. They'll have some new stuff coming out. And that was going to be the other question: is what do you have coming up? So, I mean, that was perfect segue. But do you have it mastered yet, or do you still have to go back and remaster anything? Or?
Right now we have a lot of the second album already fleshed out.
Okay.
There's still a few songs we have to like totally get the hang of, but for the most part we're pretty ready to go. We haven't gotten in the studio really not yet. Everything's like coming together real fast.
Yeah,
we're like practicing them and playing them out just to see how they go and get the feel for them.
Definitely. Yeah, I have like an album I've been working on for this past year in 2023 too. So it's just like about getting the right people together, the right collaborators. Because usually, like, I'm just mostly an independent artist, so like I collaborate with other musicians and stuff like that to work on individual songs usually. But like that stuff's all in the works as well. And like I had some problems at one of the studios that I've been going to, so now I'm trying to go to a different studio, and so there's like some of that stuff. And I like to just avoid drama and just like make music with my friends. That's like all I really want to do with my life. And like you said, we were all busy. We all probably have day jobs and stuff too.
Yeah, to pay the bills.
Yeah. So it's like, it's nice when like your evenings or your weekends or whatever your free time is, you're spending with your friends and working on stuff. Like it just feels like holistic in that way.
Yeah. And like when it's a passion, it doesn't even like feel like necessarily like I'm busy or it's like
you're just there.
It's just like what you do.
Right.
Like,
that's how I started doing this like stuff, is by just going to my friends' shows, being in the audience. I'm like, how can I be a good audience member? Oh, I should probably record their show. You know what I mean? And then like as I got better phones, better equipment and stuff like that, I'm just like, okay, now I can really like post a reel. It gets like 2,000 likes or 2,000 views and stuff like that. And then that can generate, stuff for my page, but also generate stuff for their page as well. So it just kind of started off me going to my friends' shows and like, how can I be an active audience member that's contributing to this? Like, what about the people who can't come to the show? Like, I should get a little snippet for them or something like that too. And then,
which is awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all about support. Like,
right.
You gotta support each other and be there for one another. And
musicians got to stick together, man.
For sure.
They do.
Yeah, especially like with like the budget cuts and like we see like our culture is so focused on like the military industrial complex. So like just having like artists supporting other artists is like super important.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is.
And that's like what, prompted me to really start doing the interviews as well. And like I even interviewed a guy for his barbecue sauce. So I'm not like just limited to musicians and stuff like that. So I'll interview like anybody. Like for the Fusion Fest, I'm going to try to interview some vendors and stuff this time around as well, just to give them some screen time to promote their business and talk about where they started with that. So it's like my brand, Indigo Forest, Lyrical Lounge, which is my buddy's brand, Youngstown Fleet, and Westside Bowl.
Oh, nice.
It'll be like July 20th.
Oh yeah, okay.
And yeah,
I think I'm probably gonna be there actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun because there's a market during the daytime, and then in the evening there's like hip hop, jazz, like alternative rock, fusion music. So
I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
good.
It's upstairs, downstairs too, so it's like gonna be super fun.
Wow.
Yep. And then
be there, then.
Yeah, like it's just I had an idea from I used to work at Susie's forever ago.
Mm-hmm. I remember Susie's.
Yeah, and I used to bartend and like manage kind of there, and just being in that community, I'm like, wow, there's like a lot of really cool stuff. I thought about doing this jazz festival idea, bless you, and
try to keep quiet.
Yeah, you're good. No, the jazz festival idea was it was just like wasn't the right time and place. It was probably like 2017, 2016, where we had that idea, and like I thought it'd be really cool to do something like that. But there's already, I think, they do jazz in the park here on the weekends at Wick Park. They do a jazz fest, I think, on the east side as well. And I think they've been doing more of those kinds of events, but I was like, okay, I want to kind of create something like that for the west side to have as like a tradition as well. And then just incorporating that fusion music where you have like the R&B, hip hop, blues, jazz, rock, like kind of all mixed together, I think is like really cool too, because I'm sure you've seen how some shows can be like, the crowds can be very divided sometimes, and it's nice to kind of get like people of different genres and like different like backgrounds together as well. I think that's like pretty cool, and that's where like a lot of like big of my influences personally like have a lot of that kind of diversity, like Tank and the Bangas, Snarky Puppy and stuff like that, like those kind of like jazzy, like hip hop kind of bands and stuff like that. They definitely have like people from like a lot of different kinds of backgrounds coming together, and that's what makes their music, I think, so unique as well.
Yeah, it's all about like people being open to music of all kinds. Really,
for sure.
And coming together and supporting local music too.
Right, and that's what pushes me the most as a musician, I think, is like trying out different genres, like try scales and things that I never thought I would play. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like learning.
Try to switch it up.
Better.
Better.
Definitely. But what are your guys' some of your biggest influences?
Well, let's start with our shirts, right?
Rush
and Pink Floyd, right?
Representing.
Yeah. So I mean, I look for like drummers and singers and like big bands. Like, so I'm a huge fan of like good high vocalists like Journey or Rush, of course, Zeppelin. Anything. A lot of 80s bands too, just like hair metal, just because like their voices. But drummers too. Any drummer you could think that's great, like Zeppelin, Rush again. Yes, the drummer to Yes, I love him.
Yeah.
Anything along that line.
So like progressive.
Yeah.
Progressive and metal, pretty much. Like.
Yep.
A lot of that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of heavier stuff. A lot of '90s grunge too. So Chris Cornell, one of my favorites.
Chris Cornell is one of my favorites too.
And Jeff Buckley.
Jeff Buckley. Yeah.
Gone too soon, but man, he left an imprint.
Another one that's just like in my heart forever. So.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I kind of went through a lot of phases. Like I think like the root of Franklin Dead Rose, I feel like it's there's like a lot of stuff my dad and my grandparents listened to. Like I remember my grandpa he would like turn up Supertramp, like this best of CD. He was deaf, so he would turn it up all the way. My ears were ringing in the car, but like I didn't care because like I love the music.
Right.
So it was like that, like Supertramp, the Bee Gees, Pink Floyd, and then like just all sorts of stuff, like Jimmy, like Hendrix.
Hendrix,
Hendrix and Carlos Santana are my biggest guitar influences.
Yes, there's so many. We could do this all day.
Like
naming bands,
like progressive, like progressive rock. The funk and
Tower of Power.
Yeah, Tower of Power. They're so good. Like, and I feel, but I've also went through like phases. Like, I went through like a phase where I liked like glam metal, like hair metal, like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. Then I went through like the grunge phase, Alice in Chains. That was my big band.
I just got over that phase. Some new stuff now.
And then but at this point, I feel like it's just all over the place now. Like I listen to pretty much anything.
Yeah, and our accessibility to music has changed a lot in the last 15 years as well. Where
It has.
before you had to download stuff on Apple, or you had to burn it, or you had to stream it on YouTube, or you had to do something like that. But now it's just all of us at the touch of our finger have any song we want.
Literally, yeah.
And that's just a whole different way of interacting with the medium of music. We don't have to buy an album, but I'm an album guy. So if I get into a new band or something like that, I have to listen to the whole album. It's just to me, not everybody writes that way nowadays, but I like to get the whole scope and sequence of the message that they're trying to send with the album. So,
exactly.
And some people Kendrick Lamar specifically with hip hop, from first song to last song, there's an explicit story. Same with bands like Dream Theater. From the first song to the last song, it's a very explicit story that they're trying to tell throughout. Some of those Dream Theater songs are crazy long, 15 minutes. It's a little bit
That's
out
what I
there.
love about Pink Floyd. They have concept albums. The songs are 20 minutes long.
Pink Floyd is crazy. They do that.
Right, and that's something you could play with an orchestra, and it just goes to show that rock musicians or just musicians in general aren't necessarily limited to one thing. Although we often take on the persona of one thing, we're often multifaceted and multi-talented and multi-genred. You know what I mean?
It's all relative, in a way, because it's all this. It's all 12 notes.
Right.
It's all the same chords.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of your physical ability. I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess it's your physical ability, your influences, and just the way you use those 12 notes, right? It's your own, coming up with your own font. It's the same letters, but how do you write it?
Dude, that's a good analogy.
Thank you. But it was great having you guys on, and I appreciate you guys hanging out.
Man.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And Franklin Dead Rose, check out their new projects coming out. They have some singles coming out this year, potentially a new album next year. And I think we're going to have Head Trips on too. I think Lance is going to get on that.
So he was talking to you about that,
so
stay tuned. Franklin Dead Rose, all streaming platforms. It's got a rose that's dead, obviously, because that's the name. Check us out. Give us a listen.